So let's talk about Marvel's newest TV show, The Defenders, on Netflix. And before I get deep into the Defenders spoiler-filled, I will briefly mention what I thought about the other four shows before The Defenders. Now, Daredevil Seasons 1 and 2, I think, are fucking amazing. I think they're fantastic TV shows. I think that it's such a great superhero show without always having to be a superhero show. And I think that the action, the characters are amazing. And I think that overall, those two and Jessica Jones are hard to pick between if I had to choose which one, Daredevil Season 1 or 2 or Jessica Jones. And then Jessica Jones Season 1 I think is fucking fantastic as well. I think that she was such a great character. I think that Kilgrave was honestly my favorite villain, even more than Kingpin, which Kingpin is scary and intimidating, but I thought that Kilgrave was the best because of the fear that what he can do, because he has superhuman abilities. And I thought that Jessica Jones Season 1 was amazing. And it's hard, like I said, it's hard to choose between Daredevil Season 1 and 2 or Jessica Jones Season 1. I think that I put them both evenly on a pedestal. I think that both of those shows I consider even. And then we get Luke Cage, which honestly I do really love. I don't think I love it as much as Jessica Jones and Daredevil, but it had some fantastic villains as well. They are not in the way like Kilgrave was or the Kingpin was, but those villains were really, really fucking good. And Luke Cage is fine. I just didn't think he was as interesting as Jessica Jones or Daredevil. And I think that overall it is really good. Luke Cage, Season 1. And I love the ending. That's one of my favorite endings to any of the four shows. And then we get Iron Fist, which I didn't hate, but I really didn't love either. I really didn't care for Iron Fist the character, but I like Colleen a lot, and I like Joy a lot, but I didn't care about anything else in the show. I thought that everybody else was just not that interesting, and the story was really not written well at all. It really didn't work much. But that's pretty much what I thought about the first four shows before this, the eventual them coming together with the Defenders. And the Defenders, I'd say, I still love Jessica Jones and Daredevil Season 1 and 2 more, but I'd say I'd rank this third as the shows go. I think that this is a really good show that connects all of these characters and all of these plot threads with all the shows and the other characters together. And I really thought that we were going to get a very convoluted show, because the way that it started, it felt like there was so much going on. But the thing I love about the Defenders is that you get all of these story threads that are continuing on from each of the four shows, but they don't do it to where it feels super convoluted. It feels like it's kind of, there are things that are put in throwaway lines, like what is going on in Luke Cage's world, like in Harlem, what is going on with Matt Murdock now, and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. And I like how they didn't completely rely on having to, like, they still talked about things that happened in the other shows that are still ongoing in the Defenders, but I like how they subtly put them in, but they don't have to put them into the spotlight and make the show convoluted, because it really wasn't as convoluted as I thought it would be. I really thought it was going to be convoluted, but it wasn't. And I thought that all four of the characters, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, were really good together. And I really like that we get these four characters that, like the Avengers, this is definitely the TV show version of that, which is just like in the comics. They're like the lower crime Avengers. They're the ones that do the street work. They're the ones that kind of fight around in the darkness. And I thought that it was really cool seeing all four of these characters interact. Even Iron Fist, which I didn't really like much from the show. And I thought that he actually was better in this show, Finn Jones. Not that he's a bad actor, but just because of the writing was weird on him and everybody in Iron Fist. But I felt like this was a way better product than Iron Fist was with this character and with the characters from Iron Fist. Like Colleen's back in this too, and other characters too. But I like that all of these four main characters really did connect cool. I really liked how they did take their time with the episodes, even though they're only 8 episodes. They took their time, because I think it takes till episode 3 until they all meet, or maybe the end of episode 2, but I think that they really, it took them a little bit to meet, and I liked how you get all of this information on them, and you really, like, I feel like you should still watch the other shows beforehand. No, actually, I really implore you do, because there are things with Elektra, where she's Black Star now, and, like, if you didn't watch Daredevil, I guess that would make sense. It wouldn't make any sense to you, so I feel like you really should watch the other shows before this, but I like that it really just does connect really well with these characters, and they all four of them are fun together. I think that they do have funny moments, like how the Avengers did in the movie, and how the shows are all pretty serious, and then they do have jokes, but they don't like go over the top of the jokes. They're just kind of subtle jokes that just kind of aren't cheesy and over the top, but they work in this grounded reality. Well, grounded because there's magic and stuff still, but in this grounded reality of the street version of the Avengers, and I thought that they all worked well together. I thought they were all fun. I liked how Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock responded to each other. I liked how whenever he was doing all this stuff, even though he's blind, Jessica Jones is reacting like, what in the hell is he doing? How does he do this? And I liked how Luke Cage and Iron Fist connected too. They were funny together. And I liked how Luke Cage instantly says, like, I don't believe any of this magic stuff. Like, it's funny that he does that, even though we're in a world where the Avengers and the Chitauri fought in New York, but still, I thought it was funny showing off how these characters reacted to each other. They really did work well in the end, and they felt like they really went far by the end. They really did go on kind of a journey. And the only real complaint I think I can give this show in particular is that I wish that it was longer, honestly, because we only got 8 episodes. And we got 13 episodes or more for each other show. And that's only for one of these characters. And I wish that we got this show with at least 13 episodes, because we do get good development with them. We do get good time with them, and good time with all the other characters and storylines from the other shows connecting to this. But I wish that we got more with Alexandria, Sigourney Weaver's character, who is new in this show. And I really, really love Sigourney Weaver's performance in this. She really, she's already a great actress. I love her anyways, but she sold this role so well. And I like that she's a villain that you feel sympathy for immediately. Immediately, the first scene you see her in is that she's going to talk to somebody, and they said that she's dying, and that she maybe has a month or 2 to live. And I really love that we start out with a villain, but realizing that they're dying, and she's going along this path where she's not going to live anymore. So I thought that was interesting. But the only thing that annoyed me is that I wish it was longer, because we should have got more with her. I mean, she is prevalent in the episodes, but I really wish that she was there. Like, we had more episodes with her development, just a little more, because I love Sigourney Weaver. I thought she did great. And whenever, spoiler alert, whenever she dies in episode 6 or 7, whenever she dies, I felt like I wanted more of her, and I really wish that we did get more, but we didn't. We just got, we got fine development with her. She was a fine villain, but she just didn't get enough. And then we get the other characters of the five fingers of the hand, but they're not as interesting, besides Madame Gao, who actually, I take that back, Madame Gao's not very interesting in this show. Like, she was more interesting in Daredevil or Iron Fist. But I think that it made me mad that they killed her off so quickly. But they wrote that she was going to die anyways, but I wish that I could have seen Sigourney Weaver longer, because she was just such a great addition to the show. A great addition to the Marvel Universe. I really thought that she gave it her all, and she's a fantastic actress anyways. But man, she really sold it. I loved her in the show, and I really think that's one of the only big issues I have is that it should have been longer. We should have more of her, and we could have had more of the Defenders getting to know each other. But I mean, but for what it is, what we have right now, it was fine. They were fun. They were interesting. It did feel like they did go on this journey and they did connect. And I thought that the last episode in particular was really, really fucking good. I mean, the whole show was good, but I thought that as it got to the end of the show, the stakes really changed because Stick dies and Alexander dies. And then Elektra and Daredevil, or Black Star and Daredevil, sorry, they, in the end, when they're underground and everybody else gets out except for them, and there's this scene where Black Star realizes who Matt Murdock is. She starts to figure it out earlier than the end, but she starts to figure it out close to the end of the season. But there's this sincere and emotional moment where Matt Murdock and Elektra are underground, where the ground is imploding or all around them. They're gonna die, and then you get this just amazing, tragic scene of them together underground, and then they die, and the hand dies. But wow, like, I thought that the end of the show was really, really good, and even though I thought, like, I'm not saying the show was not good before, but the ending really, really got me. I thought that it was so emotional, and especially because Daredevil, even though he does come back in the last second of the show, whenever he died, it felt like he really did. And whenever they go back to the precinct and everybody comes back except for Matt, and you see Foggy and Karen and their reaction, and it was legitimately heartbreaking and sad. And you got 2 seasons with him, so it really felt earned whenever he died, because he came back. But still, I thought that it really was emotional. It really worked really well. So, I don't know, like, I think that it really was a strong season for this show. And I'm really curious to see where they'll go with the rest of the series. But we already got announcements for, like, the new seasons of the shows, or at least a couple of them, but I'm interested to see where it goes from here, because Stick's gone, Alexandria's gone, Daredevil died and came back, and then we get these characters who don't know, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. They don't know that he's gone and he's back, so I'm curious to see what'll happen. And I thought that it was just overall a great show with great characters. And I forgot to mention the side characters too. We get all the side characters from the other shows. Like, we get Colleen, like I said, and Karen and Foggy, and Trish, and Malcolm, and then we get Misty Knight, and Rosario Dawson, and like, I loved all these characters back again, and I really love that we see them all again, and they all worked in the show. They all really felt like they had a presence, and they all felt like they had a reason to be there. And I thought that they all felt like they were earned to be there too, like they were there to help their friends. But I thought that all the characters were great, and the story was really fun. I just wish that it was a little longer. But honestly, besides that, I think it is a really, really good, especially since Iron Fist wasn't that good, it's definitely a great return to form, if you could call it that, because there's only been one, in my opinion, not good Marvel show on Netflix. But I think that this is really good, and I hope people like it. I hope people do. I think that, I know I've already talked to some people about it who loved it. I thought that it is really good. I don't think it's the #1 show out of the Netflix ones, but I think that it is really up there, though. It's really good. I'd say it's third after Daredevil and Jessica Jones. But anyways, thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.